وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وإن شئت تجعل الحزن سهلا. اللهم فقهنا في الدين وعلمنا التأويل واهدنا إلى سواء السبيل. ربنا يسر ولا تعسر، ربنا تمم بالخير. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh again, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I say welcome back because I can see most of you guys are technically either the core team at Soul Digest, or you guys are very familiar names. You guys are the facilitators from before. Charadi, thank you so much. I can only know one Charadi, and I hope this is the right person, all right? And then we have Emil. Thank you so much, Emil, for coming in. And then we have Siti Nur Alia, who have a feeling we've met, unless this is one of the thousands of Alia, and I'm wrong. And then we have also Farahana. Farahana, thank you so much for joining us. So the rest of you guys are pretty much first timers. I can see Azahad, Teacher Abdul Rahman. Yeah. And the rest of you guys, thank you so much. Jazakumullahu khairan jazak. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into our topic tonight. So we are going to do a bit of a briefing. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys who have we have done this before, I guess this is pretty much going to be just a refresher. But for those who are doing this for the first time, and rightfully so, because, you know, at Soul Digest this year in particular, we are just actually starting back to focus back on our events. So this could be something new for you guys, but I promise you one thing, that is going to be full of fun. It's going to be definitely fulfilling at the end. Although it requires our 110% effort, all right? But wallahi lazim, this is one of the best things that you can ever do to put more weight in your good book of deeds, inshallah ta'ala, because definitely the knowledge that you are going to impart is going to be carried on by these students. And inshallah ta'ala, this weekend, we're going to have a total of 55 students from all over Klang Valley coming to Masjid Bukit Damansara for Saturday and Sunday. All right. So let's talk about our objective first. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is Pray and Praise? I mean, up to this point, I think Pray and Praise is very, very popular. It is one of our programs that easily sells out wherever we bring it. And so, if you can bring it to us to the next slide, Atika, straight to the objective. It is a Salah workshop, as you can see. You can take a look at the pictures right now. But by and large, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to show you guys right now is how we're going to do it differently, right? Our Pray and Praise Salah workshop. Next slide, objective.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. Technical difficulty. Okay. Okay, it's okay. I can I can do this off the cuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember that at the end of the day, we only have three main objectives at Pray and Praise. Now the screen is back. So our three main focus is going to be the proper wudu and the proper forms and motions, and last but not least, proper recitations. That's our focus. With regards to our goal, what sets us differently is because we are here to make sure that they are going to have a nice balance of serious and also fun, right? And all of this we do is simply because we want to instill the joy and confidence in every student salah, right? And that's what we do at Soldiers. By the way, our brand tagline is shaping confident Muslims. But coming back to the focus, ladies and gentlemen, there are going to only be three main focus: proper wudu, proper forms or motions, and then last but not least, proper recitations. All right. And then last but not least, and this is most important, what is the excellence part? One of our core values at Soul Digest is excellence. We serve you guys beyond programs, and that's what we always say. And so the excellence where you guys are going to be expected to do as well is to make sure that you are going to follow up with the progress of each and every student that are going to be placed under you. All right. So typically we are going to have, inshallah ta'ala, this round, we're going to have 6 groups. So whatever group that you're in, you are going to be assigned to like at least 8 students. So you and your partner, right? Whoever it is that you're going to be paired with. Later on, Atika is going to give you the rundown of things. You guys are in charge of each and every one of them individually in terms of their progress report. All right, that we are going to have a very clear rubrics for. What is a rubric? Rubric is basically the ma'air lah. Sorry, I just realized I translate into Arabic. What is ma'air? Ma'air, rubrics, the criteria, yeah. So do we have all the KPIs, the criteria? So all you have to do is to just give it from 0 to 5. And at the end of it, we're going to turn it into a radar chart for each and every parent to know where their child stands at. All right. So our program is, the student report is going to look something like this. All right. So this is basically what you and your partner are going to be in charge of for the next 2 days, Saturday and also Sunday. All right. Is that clear? So far, so good? Clear? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, coming back to the topic, we said that it is going to be Saturday and Sunday, and it's going to be Saturday and Sunday full day. All right, full day, meaning that for the program is going to start at 8:30 a.m. and we're going to end at 5:30 p.m. So that's essentially 8 hours, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, not 8, but 9 hours, right? And these 9 hours is just the program, meaning that for you guys, for us, we are going to be expected to come slightly early as well. So, Alhamdulillah, we have already been to this place for the first, this is not our first time, Masjid Bukit Damansara. So we pretty much know the layout. However, we definitely need some of your presence, right, to help us with last minute things, especially the students who are probably going to come earlier. So at least be there by 7:45. Am I right, Atika, to say that? If I'm wrong, Atika will correct me later on. But I think 7:30, mampus. Okay, 7:30. 7:45, sorry. Shouldn't have asked her. Okay, so anyways, it's 7:30. And inshallah ta'ala, once we are done, we're going to do a bit of postmortem. So that's going to take more or less about 45 minutes to 1 hour. So safely, we are going to disperse by 6:30. So please adjust your plans afterwards and beforehand accordingly. Yeah? All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, day 1 and day 2. So now I know you can read this right now, but how are we going to make it easier for us to understand? This is quite wordy again. So you can just imagine we have 4 boxes. All right, we have 4 boxes. Imagine 4 boxes in a square, right? So box number 1 will be day 1 before lunch. And then box number 2 will be day 2 after lunch. And then box number 3 will be day 2 before lunch. And then box number 4 will be day 2 after lunch. Got it? So we are going to separate into 4 quadrants. Okay, so that's exactly what we are going to do. It's easier for us to do that way. So the first half of day 1, we are going to have this set of what do you call this, activities and also sessions, and then follow up sama juga. And then the second part of day 1 will be also the continuation. And then the first part of day 2 will also be the continuation, lesson activities. The last part of day 2 will be exciting. This is where the students are going to be presenting to their parents. And this is what we call, as so we call it an extravaganza. All right. So preparation begins like immediately once we reach lunch day 2. All right. So that is where this is the more exciting part lah, where you guys are going to also be training your students and preparing them for their extravaganza later on. So it has 6 groups, 6 different presentations, inshallah. All of these presentations will be under 10 minutes. All right, 10 minutes or less. Clear? And you don't have to think about it. We have already locked in. We have already, basically curated and scripted every performance. So all you have to do is to just watch the video, and then after that, get you and your partner to discuss if you guys want to add a little bit of your flair, a little bit of your creativity, and so on and so forth, some of your personal touch, by all means, and get to know your students more so that you can assign them their roles respectively. All right, so far so good? Okay, so there you go. So ladies and gentlemen, speaking of lesson activities, that's exactly how the first 3 quadrants are going to be. right? So you have activity session and then break, and then activity session, quick break, activity session, quick break. And all of these activities are basically designed to prime in and on the three focus tadi lah. Is either the proper wudu, proper motion, or proper recitation. Clear? So far so good? All right. Now, any questions up to this point? Any questions? If you have questions about what are these exactly going to be, don't worry, because at the end of the day, the lead instructor is more or less in charge of that. All you have to do is to just play ball and make sure that your students are all in line. All right, they are all in check. Okay, that's exactly what we are asking from you, on top of you having to personally grade and track their progress in terms of their 13 points of Salah just now. Okay, any question? Mishal, Abdurrahman, Azhar, Azhar, what do I feel I have met you before? Farahana, Noraisha. Okay, no? All right, let's go. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so we've already shown you the report card, right? Okay, so inshallah, this is going to be pretty straightforward. So now, an extension to how we're going to do the report card, we are also not going to ask you to, what do you call this? Crack your head over it. Everyone will receive a folder, a file, where you will see exactly the numbers that you need to put in, and which is in the previous slide. All right. Now, and then at the end of your day 2, this is where you and your partner are going to sit down and open up Google Form and just transfer those numbers into this Google Forms and write down your comments, right? And once you are done with your comments, then you submitted it, and khalas, that is where exactly my team is going to take over, and we are going to generate the report cards and send it to their parents respectively. All right, so that's exactly what is expected of you with regards to the progress. Any questions? No questions, eh? Okay, let's go. So ladies and gentlemen, speaking of your 6 groups just now, inshallah ta'ala, we are expecting about 8 to 10 packs each, all right? Because it's a 55 packs. So some of your groups will, there's going to be, expect a plus minus of 1 extra group, extra person in every group. And we are going to also give them, what do you call this? Age them according to their age group. So it's either 7 to 9 years old or 10 to 12 years old, and every group will have 2 facilitators each. Now, this is very important, 2 facilitators each. The last thing we want is for that group to look as if there's only one face. Why? Because the other face is not functioning. So at this point of time, you need to understand that both of you guys are like the 2 hands that need to clap together. All right? Because at the end of the day, we are talking about 7 to 9-year-old kids and 10 to 12-year-old kids. If you get 10 to 12-year-old kids, then your challenge might be slightly easier. But 7 to 9-year-old kids, these are kids with a lot of energy and probably a lot of attention deficiency, right? So you might have to give your whole entire focus all the time, right? That's exactly what it is. And the duties, as we mentioned just now, is reporting, all right, and also your crowd control, all right, and also remember that you're expected to also have, you will also play a secondary role that Atika inshallah ta'ala will talk to you guys about later. Okay, any questions up to this point? No question, eh? Okay, fantastic. Okay, next. Okay, so your roles over here, this is where Iqbal, Atika is going to take over, inshallah ta'ala. All right, so I'm your lead instructor for this weekend. And over to you, Atika, where she will explain more about your side roles.
Okay, all right.
Thank
Thank you, Mualim. Okay, so as you can see here, the chart, it shows basically Mualim Faisal is going to be the lead instructor. And then in between that is basically the core team, whereby there's me as the program coordinator as well as the catering master. I will basically just oversee the whole flow and make sure that you guys are doing what you guys are supposed to be doing. So if anything, you guys can look for me as well. And then Ilham basically is going to be my assistant PC. She's going to be right by my side all the time, as well as she's going to be the prop master. So anything in regards to the games or whatever props you guys need in terms of stationaries or papers, you guys can come and look for her. And then we have the media manager team of 4, whereby there's Soya, Intan, Amanda, and Faris. So all 4 of them will be basically recording you guys. They will be in charge of taking IG stories, taking videos, setting up the AV, things like that. So they will also play a very important role during the extravaganza. So if you guys need anything related to media or music or sound, you guys can come and look for them. Okay, and then there's you guys, facilitators. So as you can see, there are 6 colors. The colors basically represent the group that you guys will be in charge of. So here we have Charadi and Nurin in team green. Then Aisha Talib and Farhana in team yellow. Aisha Hakim and Najwa in team orange. So these 3 are the girls team, basically the team that are made out of girls. And then below here is basically the team that are made out of boys. So in charge of red team, Siti, Arya, and Azhar. The blue team, Emil and Arina, and then the black team, Abdurrahman and Nishal. So these one are the boys. So as you can see, you guys have also have a side role. So for example, registration. For registration team, you guys are basically in charge of taking attendance, taking the picture in the very beginning, and making sure that they got their name tags. So this one, I will brief again in the morning. So make sure that you guys come very early. And then the catering team, they will basically be serving the kids their food, making sure that you guys are not giving them too much food or making sure that they're eating. Because we have incidents whereby when we give them too much food, they don't finish it. They don't finish the food. So that's why we have to make sure that the portion that we give to them is enough for them. But at the same time, you guys are also in charge of making sure that everything is clean at the end and set up. Okay, and then that's usher. So usher plays a very important role in the morning as well as at the end of the day. So your job is basically to usher the students in to make sure that they after registration they put their bags away and they go and take their breakfast and then they sit down where they're supposed to sit down. And then at the end of the day, they are basically gonna help usher the students make sure that they go home, to make sure that they don't leave when they're not supposed to leave. Okay, so I'll explain a bit more after this in the next slides. So as you can see here, ushering. You guys have to stand by in the very beginning, right at the entrance after registration. So right after they finish taking their picture, you basically just tell them to come and put their bags away and then have some breakfast. And then at the end of the day is basically to make sure that they exit when their parents have arrived. Same thing for day 2. And then for registration. So registration, I have assigned basically 3 people in charge of registration because there's 3 different tasks that they're supposed to do. So the first person would be to take their attendance, and the attendance sheet is they're going to be provided. And then secondly is to give their name tags. So since their name tags are going to be in colors, so it's very easy to basically identify in the attendance sheet and to just give the correct name. And then the last task is to basically take a picture of them because this is going to be used during the report card for us to identify. Okay, and then catering, as I mentioned just now, is just to make sure that they are served enough food. Since this time around, inshallah, the masjid will be already setting up the food for us. So the only thing we have to do is to serve and to also tidy up the place. But of course, just make sure that we stand by around this time. Okay. Okay, all right. Now that I've talked about the rules, Mualim, do you want to talk about this or do you want me to continue?
Okay. So I can take over this, inshallah.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Okay, so at the end of the day, one of your main duties is going to be the crowd control. All right, and crowd control means 2 things now. It's going to either be hyping them up or calming them down. Most of the time, you are going to do the latter, the one in blue, which is to calm them down. All right, but once in a while, you are going to perhaps get a audience that are slightly what they call this, undermotivated for some reason. I mean, we have done this 50, 60 times, and every pray and praise is different from one and another. We say that it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? So because of that, we need to prep you to either start hyping them up, or most of the time, like I mentioned, calm them down. All right. But lucky for us, we are not in Singapore. If we are, this is a PPK Singapore, then definitely is going to be calming down. Hyping up is not a problem for the Singaporean kids, but for the Malaysian kids, we do have that kind of balance lah. Okay, but whatever it is that you do, all right, remember these three main things. Number one, connect with them on first instance. That is why we need you to come early, so that you can first and foremost get them and greet them when you guys are showing them to their places and whatnot, and while they're having their breakfast. Connect with them, get to know them better, have fun, ask questions. As a matter of fact, I think we have some bingo games that we have prepared for Atika, right? For you guys to help, with your ice breaking with the kids. Okay. Also, you can play a simple game, just a simple game, maybe a hangman, whatever it is. And these are things that I am very sure you can Google on your own, or you can perhaps have some ideas of your own as well. All right. Okay. And then prep them and tell them why we are here. All right. Tell them this is going to be a pray and praise. This is going to be your salah workshop, and lay down the three focus straight up. All right. So that they will remember what is the main focus for proper wudu, proper motion, and proper recitation. Clear? All right. And then along the way, I will also be doing the crowd control as well. I'm going to lay out the rules, and you can follow after my cue. If you want to use mine, by all means, you can use the one silent clap, you can use the waterfall, and whatever it is that I'm going to push tomorrow. I mean, on Saturday and Sunday, you guys can also take that and use that for your own group as well. Clear? So that's first, number one. Number two, during in-betweens, right? Now, at the beginning of every session, so remember we have our session and activity. Activity, not much of a problem. That's more or less just getting them in line, making sure they're not overhyped, and if they need hyping up, you are going to hype them up. But especially during the sessions, you will quickly identify, if you choose to connect with your students from the beginning, you will quickly identify who you know will have a chance of being the disruptor in the class. All right. Now, whenever you identify these so-called disruptors or potential high risk, we call this high risk students, all right, you must put them nearest to you. All right. So if you are going to be sitting down, what I suggest is you sit at the back and let everyone sit in front. All right. And get the high risk to be around you and your partner, so that you guys can have a better control. You guys can tap them. You guys can quickly bring their attention to you, and so on and so forth. Quickly, if they sleep, if they doze off, if they were playing, not paying attention, if they're not opening up their course notes, all of this, inshallah ta'ala, will help you guys have a better control of your students. Okay, clear? And please make sure that they are going to be silent. Now, we're going to have a scoreboard, of course, to help you guys with this. So you can also guilt trip them and tell them about the scoreboard and how we all need to make sure that we are going to go for the highest point, but know that Muallim is also going to deduct your points if you misbehave. All right, clear? So there you go. So filler games during the break time is fantastic. You can play charades, eye contact game, whatever games, ABC games. ABC game is like this, let's do A to Z and choose a theme. So that's a country. So a country that begins with A, and then you move on to the next person, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. Or you can also quiz them about the lesson before, which by the way is going to be more helpful, right? And it's going to be more attuned to the objective of prayer praise. All right, clear? All right. Now, thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, focus recitation, supervised salah, and extravaganza. These three things are super important. All right. Now, let's start with the focus recitation. Focus recitation is going to be in day 2 part, first half. All right. And in day 2, we are going to now focus on their recitation. Now, during day 1, what you can do is you can take a look at, you will know definitely how your students fare. You will know this guy knows everything or this guy lacks something. You will know where are their room for improvements are going to be. All right. So the whole idea of the focus recitation then is to level up, right, from wherever they are in day 1 to day 2. They are going to then, inshallah ta'ala, be better at that. But it's not for them to be what they call this, perfect in that. You see, because the whole idea is it's going to be a 2-day program. And we say to the parents, and we convey this each and every time, that at the end of the day, your report that we are going to generate for your kids is going to be a snapshot of where you know you are going to help improve your kids in that area. All right. So we do at our very best. We do for Ihsan. We try it and tell them and get the kids to the highest place possible. And then after that, we grade them. And after we grade, we leave a comment. And that's where we are gonna pass it back and hand over that responsibility to the parents. Is that clear? But focusation is very important. Speaking of focusation, supervised salah, we're gonna have 4 salahs during this pray and praise, Zohor, Asar, and then Zohor and Asar. So technically, we're gonna have 4 supervised salah. All right. Up to the 3rd salah, you guys are going to start grading them already. The 4th one is for you to, like, just have a good farewell, right, with them, and as a last pointer to just confirm your grading for them. So supervisor. So when they are praying, we are not going to pray. When they are praying, we are going to stand by the side and we're going to go in between, in front. All right, because this is for teaching purposes. So you can go in front of them and we are going to correct their form, their posture immediately. Got it? So that's for supervised salah. So the whole idea is that by the 2nd salah, we want to see some improvement. By the 3rd salah, we want them to auto-correct themselves. Clear? All right. Now, more of this, inshallah ta'ala, will be done on the day itself. So you get to see, yang penting you guys can play ball. All right. Last but not least, extravaganza, like I said, we scripted up. You guys can be, we are going to identify the students, right? So Atika is going to identify the groups that she thinks will be suitable for this kind of performance. We have 6 different kind of performance, and Atika is going to match them up. Once you get that, you're going to get your script and you can start discussing with your students as to what you want to wear, what you want to bring for the next day. So by the end of day 1, yeah, towards the end of day 1, we're gonna know already. Is that clear? So far, so good. All right. Now here's the thing about extravaganza. Please give everybody a role. Once in a while, we are going to get one kid who is very non-cooperative, but that hardly happens. All right, they will definitely want to have some kind of role, even if it means the role is like they are the hype man. By all means, give them the role, because at the end of the day, we want them to participate. We want the parents who come to know that their kids are included, not excluded. All right. So there are no excuse here. We want everyone to be included in this. Clear? All right. Now, at the end of the day, whenever you are in blur, don't worry. You have the lead instructor, and the lead instructor is going to be handling most of the things. I'm going to be doing the heavyweight stuff. All you have to do is keep everything in order, track their progress, and be present. That's exactly what I want to talk about. Be present, which Atika is going to explain more in the do's and the don'ts. All right? Okay, let's go. Over to you, Atika.
Thank you, Mu'alim. All right, so now I'm going to be talking about the do's and don'ts, something that you guys have to really take note during the 2 days. All right, first of all, be watchful. So basically, these kids, you don't know what they're thinking. You don't know that they might sometimes go around on their own. So never, ever leave them unattended, especially when it comes to toilet breaks. Don't ever allow them to go to toilets alone, especially when we're going to be at the masjid. It's quite a big masjid and quite open, so they can get lost. So first rule is to never leave them unattended, and make sure that you watch your surroundings. If you think that there's something dangerous or something that could harm any of the kids, make sure that you take it away right away. Or if something that you think that you are not able to take action, then call either me or Sister Ilham right away. So that way we can take whatever danger it is away from the students. And secondly, be mindful. make sure that however you guys talk to the kids, just watch the words that you guys use and the tones that you guys use. You guys can be strict, you guys can be firm, but be kind because these are still kids. And whatever that you say, they might take it very literally. So just basically play around with them and try to converse with them as if you're conversing with your siblings. Okay. Thirdly is be joyful. Basically just have fun with the kids. You might have a mix of kids that are playful or a mix of kids that are don't wanna participate. But because of that, you guys might have to basically portray a lot of fun or a lot of joyfulness. Because whatever that you guys are portraying, they will mirror it. So just be fun, and try to interact with them as much as you can. Okay, and then fourthly is to be useful. Since we are all a team to achieve a goal of basically trying to improve the kids' SOLA, make sure you guys help out and look out for each other. So if you notice that if another group is struggling or having a hard time trying to control their kids, and just help out if you guys can. Okay. And another thing that I always remind facilitators is to make sure that everything is tidy. Especially their course notes, their stationaries. Sometimes it can be very, very messy. So something that could be very, very useful for everyone is to make sure that it's put in one place and just tidy up. Okay. And then basically the don'ts: do not be a handful, or what we can say, don't be like a kid, basically. We are already dealing with 55 kids, and sometimes we don't want to deal with another adult that is acting like a kid. So something that we would always remind the facilitators is to not play with their phones, except for emergencies. So if I or any of us see that you are playing with your phone during the storytelling session or during the activity, we will notify you immediately to put your phones away. It's first of all, it's disrespectful, and second of all, it's just not helping any of us out. So the last thing that we want is for you guys not to be a handful. All right. So that's about it for the do's and don'ts. And then this is just a little bit of the motivation that Muallim already talked about. So we score the kids based on quizzes. There will be some quizzes, what we call whiteboard quizzes in between, where Muallim Faizul will basically test each group, basically test the whole students on things that they've learned. So whoever team that got it correctly, then they'll get a point. And then we also score them based on the activities. So if you notice that there's a few activities during the day, and based on those activities, we would give them a score of 50 or 100 or 200, things like that. And then as well as extravaganza, if they're performing very well, then we'll give them another point. And then we also deduct their points. So if they're being way too loud, then Muallim Faizul will deduct. If they're the last group to form a line or the last group to come back into their boxes, then we'll deduct a point. And of course, if they're being just disruptive to everyone, then we'll deduct a point. But of course, at the end of the day, everyone is a winner. Even though we keep saying that there's each team will get a point or this team will get a point, at the end of the day, everyone is going to be a winner. But of course, don't tell them, because this is basically just a motivation for them to participate or to be motivated. All right, so now we are going to move to the role of SOLA. Muallim Faizul, do you want to take over?
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we say we have a lot of activities, right? And every activity is going to be done after a session. So after a certain milestone, when I am confident that we have covered a few things, important things, then we are going to activate the bigger activities. One of those activities is the World of Salah. This is going to happen in the second quadrant, day 1 after lunch. All right. So the World of Salah is basically a smart way for us to cut off the time All right, while we can cover a lot of bases, and we do it in a very creative way so that the kids are not going to get sleepy. Why? Because it's going to be after lunch. So after lunch, selalu the kids and also the facilitators lah, and the instructor lah, me including, right? We are going to get slightly sluggy, yeah, with all the food in our tummies and whatnot. So we want to make sure that we are going to be able to be a little bit mobile and a little bit agile. So that's why the world of solar is activated. All right. So there are going to be 6 stations to match up with the 6 groups. And basically, it's in this simple order. The first group will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The second group will be doing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and so on and so forth until, you get the idea, right? Until we are going to come back to the 6 groups. All right. So, and at every station, it is going to be 8 minutes. So there's going to be a timer, and there's going to be an alarm that we are going to play. And once this alarm or bell or whatever it is, cue is going to ring out, then that's when you know you are going to move on to your next station. All right. So basically, it's like a musical chair, except that we don't take out the stations. All right. So everyone's going to move on to the next station and so on and so forth. And at every station, we are going to have a station master who's going to be explaining what exactly they are going to be doing at that station. And what are those stations are? There you go. Station 1, Takbiratul Ihram. Station 2, Suratul Fatiha. Rukuk, Sujud, Tahiyat. And then last but not least is Salam. All right. Again, this is not like a lecture session now. This is going to be an in and out, open and shut case where we are going to explain according to exactly the focus. Proper motion, proper wudu, proper recitation, proper motion. And in this case, you can definitely know that it is most likely going to be proper motion plus proper recitation. All right. So if that is a recitation, then the recitation is going to be done there. But if it's the motion that is the concern, like ruku, like sujud, right? Like tahiyat. So these are all motion focused, but there's also the what do you call this? The recitation part. So this is also where you are going to get to know your students punya level of recitation. At every station, you will know, oh, this guy can read, this guy cannot read, this guy can read half-half, and you will have a snapshot of where everyone is standing in terms of their recitation. Clear? So far, so good? Okay. So again, other than that, is there anything else I'm going to do? Yeah, probably there's going to be trivia. So Surah Al-Fatiha, the trivia, what does it mean, and so on and so forth, right? Salam, there's a trivia behind it. Takbiratul Ihram is basically also quite easy. In here, we are going to learn Dua Iftitah, right? So that's exactly what is going to be up. And all of this is going to be, what do you call this? Subhanallah, what do you call this? What did I want to say just now? Okay, they're scripted already. So you did the script now. So all you have to do, if you're the station master, then pay attention and just do your job excellently with your son and make sure that they get the whole idea before the time ends. Okay, so these are some of the examples. So this is Takbiratul Ihram, this is Suratul Fatiha, and this is Ruku', this is Sujud. All right, this is going to be Tahiyat, and last but not least, Salam. Okay. So far, so good, yeah? Okay, I just have one request. I feel like our World of Solar is due for an upgrade and an update. So whoever is the station master later on, I'm gonna bring this up during our postmortem lah, at day 1 to see what are your thoughts about your own particular station and whether there is a way of improving it, or perhaps we can bring on something else in or substitute one of the stations for another motion in Salah maybe, all right? Or change up the activities and so on and so forth. So take note on that slightly, inshallah ta'ala. So I'm going to bring this up on Saturday, end of Saturday during our postmortem. Yeah? Okay. And that's about it. Okay, so the heart and star sticker too, maybe we're going to use, maybe we're not going to, yeah? We're not going to use, right? Because it's pretty straightforward. We just want to make sure that they are going to be agile, be mobile while learning something after lunch. Okay, back to you, Atika.
Okay, just adding on to the role of Salah. So we do need station masters. So whoever wants to volunteer, they can volunteer. Usually, I will assign one of you guys, basically one person from each group to be the to be the station master. But if you guys want to volunteer as well, I will be sharing the videos of all the Wall of Solas stations, and then you guys can write down your name. Okay, and then if there's no one volunteering, then I will be assigning. Okay, next is the extravaganza. Okay, so extravaganza, as Mu'ali mentioned earlier, there will be 6 performances on the day 2. So it will begin at around 3:45 p.m. So I will be basically reviewing all the groups on the first day, and then at the end of day 1, I will be basically selecting which performance each group is going to be doing. So I'll be announcing it during the briefing of the extravaganza at the end of day 1. And then for day 2, we will start prepping the extravaganza after lunch around 12 p.m. And then we'll stop at 3:30. And then we're going to be starting the show at 3:45 p.m. So parents will already start arriving at 3:45 p.m. And then we're going to be performing until about 4:30 like that. And then pray asar. And then we're going to go back to closing ceremony, inshallah. So what are the topics of the extravaganza? So these are the 6 topics. Each of these, we all have videos of them, so you guys can take a look at it tonight. Just have a look at what types of performance there are. And then, inshallah, these are very, very easy ones. There are, of course, just all you have to do is just pinpoint which student is going to be taking which role. And just something about the extravaganza, a little bit of a guidelines. There should be not more than actually 8 minutes, but of course we always target 5 minutes. That's that's a really good time. And then facilitators must be involved in any way. So they can be a narrator, they can also be one of the actors, or anything like that. So basically we want the facilitators to be involved in their performances as well. And do not overdo or overthink. These performances can be quite stressful if you overthink about it, but they're quite simple. So if you guys need any help, just reach out to either me, Mu'alim, or Ilham. We're gonna go around each group to just see how you guys are doing during the rehearsal, during the preparation. So that's when we can help you guys out, inshallah. And then during the performances, just read your crowd. If you think that the kids are suddenly nervous, then you guys have to be prepared to take the mic and then somehow just be creative. Okay. And then at the end of day 1, when you guys already receive your topic, you guys can remind them to bring any props, or if you guys want them to wear something like a hat or sunglasses, then you guys can tell them to bring them. Then usually if you guys haven't told them, then you guys can just let me know, and then I will let them know in the parents group. And then if you guys need any materials, such as maybe any props that you guys need for us to do, then let us know before Sunday, and then we can get it done, inshallah. And of course, when I mentioned about music or videos or links and things like that, let us know before Sunday as well, so that way we can get the media team to help prepare. Okay. And then when it's time to perform on the stage, there'll be mics, inshallah. And then what I would suggest is that if we have 2 mics, you guys will always already in pinpoint exactly who will get the mics, because before the performance start, you guys will get maximum 1 minute to basically get everyone ready on stage before the performance starts. Okay, so those are just some of the guidelines, but inshallah we'll help you guys out along the way. Okay, that's about it for the extravaganza. I will be sharing you guys this link, so you guys can take a look at the video and everything like that, as well as the extravaganza. Other than that, Inshallah, there's nothing else. Okay, lastly, before we end, then we're gonna be giving you a facilitator's kit. So in your facilitator's kit, there will be basically the evaluation form, a clipboard, pen, markers, masking tape to basically label anything that your students doesn't have any labels. And then for the kids, they will be bringing their stationaries, their pencils, and usually they bring very, very fancy water bottles and pencil case. So usually, if they don't have names on it, make sure that you guys can start labeling on it. Okay, since we are doing our praying place at the masjid, we might not use our spray, wudu spray, but we do have it just in case. Okay, all right. Other than that, do you guys have any questions before we end? Very quiet crowd.
I thought me.
Bisa. Kami faham kot.
Will we
Faham
be
lah.
given any reference to refer to, just
Oh,
in case, just to recap?
Reference for the whole briefing, is it?
Like for example, like the extravaganza and then the...
Yes. I will be sharing the link of the past extravaganza performances so everyone can take a look at it.
Okay.
Yes. Anyone else?
Right. Email veteran. Email dah pro.
Wah, Emil dah pilih dah. He wants takbir for World Salah. Does anyone want
That's
to
a good one.
volunteer right now? I mean, I can already write down your name in the World Salah. I know that some of you guys are also SD talent or SD Pro teachers, right? Our Quran Quest teachers. So this is
Yeah.
the time to shine.
Thank you so much. By the way, how many of you guys are our Quran Quest teachers? How many guys are our talents? Mish'al, I know is one. Farhana, are you one of them? Oh, Farhana as well. So we have two. Alia, are you one of them as well? Azhar, 3. Mumtaz. Abdurrahman, 4.
Wow.
Awesome. Okay, so we have, thank you so very much, talents. This is definitely going to be very useful for you. You're going to learn a lot. On top of that, you're also going to be, what they call this, paid for this. Yeah, you guys know how much you guys being paid, right? The allowance have been increased. So previously it was 100, now it's 150. Yeah. All right. So again, we are only going to credit it once we get everybody report done. That's very important for you guys to understand that as well. So please do not dilly-dally lah. So complete your personal reports for each and every one of your team members, right? Your kid together with your partner. This is a partner job. All right. So you guys can definitely divide and conquer. All right. So anyways, thank you so very much. Jazakumullahu khairan. We're looking forward to see you guys on Saturday, inshallah. So thank you again for agreeing to do this with us. And may Allah SWT bless us. And may Allah SWT allow us to use this as our golden ticket to the Jannah. Or at the very least, may Allah SWT allow us to use these rewards perpetually. And may these rewards continue even after we die. Yeah, so thank you so much. جزاكم خير الجزاء. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. And السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. And I'll see you guys this Saturday.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you.